everyone, and welcome to the ArtPrize 2025 Volunteer Orientation. My name is Emerson Antcliffe. I am the Volunteer and Community Engagement Manager, and I'm going to be walking you through our orientation today. Let's get started. So what can you expect us to go over? We're going to start off with an introduction. We're going to talk about what ArtPrize is and take a look at our team. And then we're going to move into an overview of ArtPrize this year. So our main events, some notable locations, and then a special experience that we're bringing in from out of town called a Borealis. And then we're going to move into an overview of volunteering itself. So what are the benefits? How do we sign up? Some important information, and then a holistic view of all of the roles that we're offering this year. So ArtPrize this year is running from September 18th through October 4th. And we're a free international art competition and cultural event held every fall in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We run for about 16 days and transform the city into a living art gallery, where we invite artists from around the world to showcase their work in local businesses and community spaces around Grand Rapids. ArtPrize itself has no say in what artists are picked and where they are located. That is determined by the artists and venues themselves through a process we call connections, where they can view each other, artists and venues can view each other online and choose to match with each other. It's a really fun process to observe from the outside and see come to fruition during the ArtPrize event. ArtPrize is a nonprofit organization. We are owned by the City of Grand Rapids, so DGRI, and Kendall College of Art and Design of Ferris State University. We do our own fundraising year-round, and this year we're able to provide a little over $500,000 in grants and awards that is given to artists, curators, educators. And we couldn't do it without our sponsors, local businesses, foundations, donors, and other grants. Our mission is to transform the art world through a radically open global art competition. We hope to start conversation that ignites creativity, encourages critical discourse, elevates and celebrates artists, transforms urban spaces, and promotes cultural understanding. In 2024, we had 1,008 artists, 887 artworks, 166 venues, over 700,000 visitors. I don't know where my picture went, but that's okay. In 2025, we have 1,100 artists, 931 artworks, and 155 venues. And although we can't say the exact number of visitors we'll get this year, we are excited and hopeful that it will be closer to 800,000 folks. So this is our team. We have about 13 full-time year-round staff, and that number goes up to over 30 event staff during ArtPrize itself. And there are about 7 departments. The number of departments fluctuates along with staff, depending on the time of year. So what are the main events during ArtPrize? Our main events are referred to as signature events. They occur on Fridays, and they start on the 19th of September with our opening celebration. That begins at 4:30 p.m. with a free lantern making workshop at Rosa Parks Circle. And then at 6:30 we have live music and performers that begin performing for folks. Before we move into a walking parade at 8 p.m., that starts in Rosa Parks Circle and ends on the Pearl Street Bridge for fireworks. Then on Friday, September 26th, we have our halftime show, which is at 6th Street Park, and that's from 7 to 10 p.m. Our halftime show is a mini music festival with country and bluegrass performers. We're going to have food, beer, and other activities throughout 6th Street Park. And finally, on October 3rd, we have our closing awards ceremony at Studio Park. That begins at 6:30 p.m. and goes till 10 p.m., with open seating at 7:15. There's limited seating available at this awards ceremony. However, it will be streamed and showcased throughout Grand Rapids, so keep your eyes peeled to see what venues will be streaming the awards ceremony in their establishment, and feel free to support them and their business during the event. Some notable locations are as follows. We have our ArtPrize Clubhouse. That's located at 40 Pearl Street Northwest, and it will be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. This is a central hub for visitors, artists. It is a place to grab official ArtPrize merchandise, ask questions at the concierge, and really a central spot for artists and volunteers to congregate and meet each other, participate in workshops, grab snacks. This is where the volunteer lounge will be located, so as a volunteer, this is a central location for you to come take a break, meet other volunteers, gather snacks before or after heading out to your volunteer shifts. We also have our official ArtPrize art gallery called Biophilia. That's located at Silva in the North District, up on North Monroe. That's open from 12 to 8 p.m. every day. And it's really nature-inspired art curated by our very own exhibitions team. And then we have a Borealis, which is a special ArtPrize experience that we're bringing in from the United Kingdom. Excuse me. That's presented by Architects of Air. It's a large-scale inflatable installation and exhibition that is ticketed and family-friendly. It's an accessible maze for children of all ages, including adults, to experience wonder and mesmerizing shapes. That's open from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. every day, except for Mondays, at 555 Monroe Avenue Northwest. And on Wednesday, October 1st, it will be groups only. Unless you're volunteering at a Borealis, in order to experience it, you'll need to pay $10 online at artprize.org or $15 at the gate. And finally, we have the ArtPrize Exchange. This is on Monroe Center from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. on September 19th through the 21st. And this is an interactive space where our partner organizations showcase their services through different displays and activities. It'll be a buzzing area, and we welcome you to come join us. So here's a little bit more of an in-depth look at a Borealis. It is a large-scale inflatable event. We have some pictures on the right-hand side of the presentation for visual learners. Architects of Air presents world-renowned and breathtaking architectural structures. They're made of colorful and lightweight materials that are inflated, and guests are invited to meander the space and really take in the nature-inspired architecture of the experience. We're really excited to have them join us and hope that you'll consider volunteering at a Borealis. If you are able to go onto our website, there should be a copy of this slideshow located on our volunteer webpage, so artprize.org/volunteer. And if you take a look at that PDF, then you'll have access to click on the links that are included in this entire slideshow. So feel free to go back and take an in-depth look at some of these slides. There's a lot of extra information included on here for all of our volunteers. So once you're able to do so, then there's an exciting video that we've included a link to at the end of this slide, where you can watch a Borealis be inflated and then take a walkthrough of the experience itself. So on the right-hand side is a view of our ArtPrize boundaries. And our boundaries are for voting for art. So in order to vote for art, this is the same process as last year if you were involved in that. But for those of you who are new, I'll go over it now. So in order to vote for art during ArtPrize, you must register on either a mobile device within the boundaries you see on the right-hand side or in person at our clubhouse. And once you're registered, you can vote for as many artworks as you'd like, once per entry, per day. Now that does mean that the next day, every 24 hours, you can go back and vote for the same artwork again if you feel that it deserves another vote, but you can only do that once per day. And at the end of the ArtPrize experience, all of the votes are gathered collectively of all 931 artworks. They're counted and announced at our closing awards ceremony on October 4th. Oh, sorry, October 3rd. That's a typo. At 7 p.m. And then it will be published online. So again, there's a clickable link at the end of this slide where you can learn more about voting. Now, this slide is all about navigating ArtPrize itself. This is a highly requested topic, so there's a lot of information here. I won't go through it all, but to summarize it, Grand Rapids has a lot of fabulous public transportation opportunities for folks to navigate the city around, including the Dash bus, which is a free shuttle bus downtown, as well as our extended regular busing system called the Rapid. There's a special phone app where you can track that. And if you are interested in driving, there are a myriad of parking lots and ramps downtown with varying price ranges for everybody to find something that they would like, as well as public transportation in the form of scooters and bikes with Lime. There's a lot of external clickable links here, so really feel free to deep dive on navigation for ArtPrize. All right, so that was an overview of ArtPrize itself, and now we're going to pivot and look at what volunteering with us looks like, starting with the benefits of volunteering. So what are some reasons why you might volunteer? One reason is community impact. Volunteering goes a really long way as far as working side by side with prominent organizations and change makers in Grand Rapids, such as the Grand Rapids Public Museum and Granville Avenue Arts and Humanities. It's a great way to connect with like-minded individuals. There are hundreds of volunteers that make ArtPrize happen, and we genuinely couldn't do what we do without you. So you're guaranteed to meet at least one person with a similar interest as you. It's also a great way to experience once-in-a-lifetime opportunities like a Borealis, and receive volunteer-exclusive swag depending on the number of shifts you complete. This year, we are testing out a tiered benefit system for our swag, which you can see on the right-hand side of this slide. And this is based on the number of shifts you complete. So after one shift, you'll get your volunteer t-shirt. And truthfully, you'll get that before you even start your shift so that you're all geared up to represent ArtPrize in your red volunteering t-shirt. Then after 2 shifts are completed, you'll receive a pin. After 3 shifts, you'll have a swag bag included in that benefit. Last year, our swag bags for our volunteers and the artists were the same, so they included a lot of really exciting art supplies and fun little knickknacks from various sponsors. And after 4 shifts, you'll be entered in a raffle to win 2 VIP tickets to our awards ceremony at Studio Park on the 3rd. And then at the very end of ArtPrize, you'll be able to attend a volunteer-only appreciation party. The day and time and location for that has not been announced yet, so keep your eyes peeled for that information. So, if all those benefits sound great, here's how you can sign up. There are 2 very unique ways to sign up to volunteer. If you are a part of a group, meaning 2 or more people, we recommend filling out our group volunteering application form, which is linked here on the slide. Or if you're an individual, you can sign up directly on our volunteer platform called Point. Point is a secure volunteer database where all of our volunteer opportunities are posted. We're using Point because you're able to filter different opportunities by role, date, and time, as well as choose your own volunteer shifts and schedule. You'll also be able to view private events and opportunities if you join our organization, and receive volunteering updates via email. This is a great way to stay up to date and in the know about all things volunteering about ArtPrize. So some additional important information you should know is on this slide, including some contacts. So I have myself, my contact email. I am the Volunteer and Community Engagement Manager. We also have our Volunteer Assistant Coordinator, May, who's helping out. Her contact is there as well as our Clubhouse Manager, just in case you need to get in contact with Camille. I've also included some important city contacts, including the Downtown Ambassadors, who are fabulous at a myriad of different things, including information about how to navigate downtown. If it's late at night and you need some help getting to your car, they'll walk with you. And you can text that number for them too. And then on the right-hand side of this slide, I've included a sample of what a volunteer might do during their shift, just so you can have an idea of what the process and routine might be for our volunteers. So when you're a volunteer with us, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to check in on Point. You can do that with a QR code in the volunteer lounge. You can do that online on the Point website. You can also do it online on the Point app, the mobile app. Or you can go to the clubhouse and check in with May or myself or another volunteer coordinator that day. Then, when you're at the clubhouse, you can store your belongings at our volunteer lounge, and you might want to grab a snack before you start your shift. You might also review the day's event schedule to see what's going on and stay up to date about different highlights for that day before heading to your assigned post. And a good tip is to connect with the current volunteers, if it's midday, or staff that are in the area that you'll be volunteering, to make sure you're up to date and in the know about what needs to happen during your shift. And at the very end of volunteering, you can collect your belongings from the volunteer lounge and feel free to relax, hang out, grab snacks, and meet with other volunteers and artists in the area. So, here are all the volunteer roles and different ways to get involved during ArtPrize 2025. We kick off the event with some pre-event support. This happens August 22nd through September 17th. And this role is fantastic for helping us set up the logistical side of ArtPrize. So this could be helping to clean venue signs, create artist badges, or even helping to install art at the ArtPrize Art Gallery. There are many ways to get involved, so keep your eyes peeled for the different ways that you can do that before ArtPrize even begins. Those shifts are 2 to 4 hours long, and you will be asked to sit, stand, or maybe even lift up to 25 pounds, depending on the opportunity. Our next opportunity is wayfinding. This year, wayfinding is changing a little bit so that it's pivoting into what we are calling information kiosk support roles. Wayfinders are knowledgeable in all things ArtPrize, and they interact with a large number of guests. This is a great role for people who are social butterflies. These are 2-hour shifts, completed outdoors. We have group and individual opportunities, and shifts are preferably completed in pairs so that you're never alone at the information kiosk. Kiosk locations are as follows, and all wayfinders will receive a frequently asked question information sheet with things that they and guests will need to know, including how to check in remotely to your volunteer opportunity, because some of the kiosks are located outside of downtown. So what this might look like is assisting with the setup and teardown of our portable kiosks, depending on when you're volunteering, helping to distribute event guides, answer general questions about ArtPrize, and really directing guests to different notable locations throughout the city. And here we have our 5 district maps to show that in this year's event guide, information kiosks are marked by an orange star in a circle. So these are all the locations that our kiosks will be at. This pivot from wandering wayfinding to stationary wayfinding is because we are hoping to make event information more accessible for guests. And part of that is finding stationary locations where they can go to ask the questions that they need. We appreciate your understanding in this pivot and are excited to introduce our kiosks this year. So looking at a Borealis again, this is what volunteering is like with them. For a Borealis itself, volunteers are referred to as stewards, and they're organized by architects of air. Volunteering at a Borealis is perfect for groups of 3 to 11 people, as well as individuals who are interested in getting involved in a unique way. Shifts are 3 to 6 hour long, depending on what you sign up for, and they run from 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., Tuesday through Sunday. In order to volunteer at a Borealis, our stewards must complete an in-person training with Architects of Air. And those training dates and times are found here on the left-hand side in orange. Unfortunately, we are unable to provide virtual training for our stewards, but we're very excited to offer 5 very special trainings in person with the team. What makes volunteering with a Borealis unique is that they have volunteering roles that rotate. So volunteers will not be in any one location for longer than 30 minutes, which provides a holistic experience and view of the Borealis itself and how it runs. We also have event volunteering, which is a great way to be a part of making magical moments. These are 2 to 3 hour long shifts in the heart of all the action. They're very versatile, so they're perfect for groups and individuals, and we have indoor and outdoor activities or opportunities to get involved. So some things that volunteers might expect while event volunteering is assisting with setup and teardown of events, directing visitors to important locations like restrooms, food areas, and bars, assisting by being the eyes and ears during events, helping with general event maintenance, and assistance as needed throughout the event. Specific event opportunities will have more detailed overviews of what's expected of our volunteers on the point page themselves. We also have clubhouse support roles. These are 2-hour shifts between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. at our ArtPrize clubhouse, which is indoors, and we have 3 different roles available this year: front of house, back of house, and a floater position that will float in between both locations and throughout ArtPrize itself. Some duties might include welcoming and assisting guests at the volunteer and artist lounges, as well as at the front of house in the concierge area and merchandise area. Volunteers might help staff with clubhouse operations, including light cleaning. They'll float between the roles to support various event needs, so whether that's in the clubhouse or throughout the ArtPrize event, our float positions are really prepared to do just about anything. They might also deliver event guides to venues and generally maintain a friendly, flexible, and supportive presence to really make the clubhouse feel lively and energized. And finally, we have our education volunteers who assist with our workshop programming and our field trips. These are 3-hour shifts, outdoors. We have them located at Rosa Parks Circle during the opening parade and 555 Monroe Avenue North, next to a Borealis for our workshop programming on the weekends. Our field trip assistant volunteers will not be given a location of where they're assisting until day of, due to safety concerns. Education volunteers receive on-site training with a detailed overview of what they'll be doing that day during their volunteer shift. Something our education volunteers might expect to do is assist with the setup and teardown of logistics needed for educational events, to help oversee general activities, and really to engage with students of all ages and assist with check-in and the oversight of each activity. All right, that's everything. If you're ready to volunteer, you can sign up by joining our point page. The hyperlink is included here, by scanning the QR code here below, or by visiting artprize.org/volunteer. Thank you so much for volunteering with us during ArtPrize 2025, and we look forward to welcoming you to our ArtPrize community.